What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. Welcome to your daily dose of the latest Manchester United news and talking points. Me and Owen are going to take you through a couple today. As per usual, make sure you lot smash a like, man. Smash a like on the video.
Come on.
Subscribe if you are new. Exactly. Obviously,
Nearly
it's the
there.
international break. We're nearly there. That's what I mean.
Flaps.
We're on 98.3K or something like that. And counting. So please, if you haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit subscribe. And yeah, looking forward to reaching that milestone, getting that plaque for the channel and the community, man. You guys have built this community in less than a year. Less than a year. We started in July. Do you know what I'm saying? Amazing. We're only in March, so less than a year. So that is in counting. But let's get into it, Owen. Ronaldo staying? Question mark.
Yes.
Now we're going to talk about that. That's something that's been reported by some journalists. It's been in the media a little bit. So we're going to talk a little bit about what that looks like, how it would look like. I've seen some reports saying that Ronaldo believes that, you know, if the right manager comes in, we can rebuild and go again next year and all this. Then some people are saying, or some reports are saying, well, actually, no, it's because he's on astronomical wages and where could he really possibly go? So we've got to talk about that, about what that would look like. And the David De Gea situation, I mean, he didn't make the Spain squad. And actually, it didn't surprise me, but it was a little bit of an eye raiser to see all of the discussions going on regarding that. You know, some people were saying, yeah, see, he doesn't get in there because this is why we need a new keeper. He can't play with his feet. His distribution's poor. He doesn't command his area. Other people saying, hold on a minute. Like, David De Gea is still top draw, least of our problems. And he should absolutely stay. Still the best keeper in the world, or one of the. So there's a lot to talk about. And actually, when I was looking at different sides of the argument and people talking about it, I thought, actually, this is actually a really good discussion point, because it's something that we kind of just, because he's been a constant there for so long, and we've got so many other issues at the club, maybe the discrepancies in his game might go unspoken about, because, you know, he's literally saving us, like doing his job and saving big shots and keeping us in games when we've been really, really poor. But if we're looking long-term, going in a different direction, change up the playing style, there's a conversation to be had. So I want to talk about that as well. But let's start with Ronaldo. Ronaldo and the stuff coming out about him potentially staying. What's your initial kind of feeling about that? Like, should he stay? We said we can't really build with Ronaldo for the future. It's for here and now, as in 1 or 2 years. So he's got a year left on that 2-year deal. How do you see it?
There's a lot of facets to this one, I think. There's a lot of different things to look at. I think that there's the discussion point of, is this loyalty from Cristiano Ronaldo, right? He loves Manchester United. It wasn't his first club. It's the club that really rose into prominence. And even though Manchester United are clearly going through a really difficult period at the moment, and chances are we're not going to be in the Champions League next season, Ronaldo in the Europa League, oh my goodness, that's just like so wrong, such a bad picture. But the fact that he'd be willing to stay at Manchester United and playing in Europa League is a sign of loyalty for him. I think that is maybe an aspect of it. I think that he doesn't want in his mind to leave Manchester United high and dry. He came in to help Manchester United. He came in to have Manchester United get over the line and winning something, and maybe he still wants to do that. I think that's part of it. I do agree with what people are saying about the wages, because I do look at that, and the reports are that his contract is worth up to, what is £750,000 a week, £775,000 a week.
But that keeps changing. That's so.
It does keep changing. I mean, I saw some
people
saying,
but we know it's astronomical.
I saw some people saying, well, I thought his wage was this, and I think that you almost have to look at wage plus bonuses plus extra miscellaneous, right? So he's on a lot of money, and you do have to look at, okay, what clubs in Europe could pay that? Let's start off with that one. What clubs in Europe could pay that? Not many, especially in this current climate, right? Not many could. PSG, Madrid are going to be going after, whether it's, you know, Mbappe or someone, right? So there just aren't many that could do that. And it looks like England is kind of not the option for him, because if it was the option, he might have gone to Man City, etc. So there aren't many that could do that. Plus, what clubs would want to do that? It's not just a case of can they do it? It's a case of would they want to do it? Cristiano Ronaldo still, you know, by his standards, maybe hasn't had the best season, but he's still Manchester United's top goal scorer. He still scored a hat-trick against Spurs. He won the game almost single-handedly against Spurs last weekend. So he can still do that. But I do with it is very valuable, but 750K a week, that's a big outlay for a 37-year-old. And maybe Ronaldo's also looking at it going, look, I might not be able to get that anywhere else, right? So
I don't think he
I think
does.
there's a lot of
I don't think he
things.
does.
I think there's a lot of things in that. So I think, but I really don't think Ronaldo at this stage in his career is completely financially motivated. I just don't, because let's face it, the guy's made his money. You know, he took a pay cut to come to Manchester United.
Exactly.
So I think it's a lot of things. I think it's maybe partly, you know, the wage thing of who else would want him, because he found it difficult in the first place. Whenever he does move, a lot of clubs just pull out immediately because they go, we can't afford him. We would love to have Ronaldo at a club, we just can't afford him. So I think it's that. I think it's the case of maybe there is unfinished business at Manchester United, and the coaching aspect, as you mentioned, he might be like everyone, whether it's Paul Pogba or whoever, where their careers uncertain at Manchester United, is going, well, we'll wait and see, because if a manager comes in, whether it's Ten Hag or Pochettino or whoever, someone that hasn't been spoken about, they might have a discussion with him, and Ronaldo might really rate this coach, and he might go, actually, you know what? I'll stick around because this coach, I think, can do something at Manchester United. So I think there's a lot of things.
Yeah, there is a lot of things, and I feel like if I'm looking at the football reasons of it, I think the discussion across the fan base would kind of go in different directions, because some people would say that, listen, we need to move on like next year in terms of bringing in a main striker, a younger striker. But could Ronaldo still be there as like not the backup striker, but to add weight? Because we've got two older strikers now. We know Cavani's going to leave, so we need another striker. We need a mobile striker. We need somebody who can run the line and stuff like that. But at the same time, Ronaldo is still so good, deadly finishing and stuff like that. There's not many people that are going to score more goals than him, I don't think. Right now,
and that's the problem, isn't it? It's the reliance.
In this Man United team, it's the reliance. Ease the reliance, exactly. So that's what I mean. We need to get someone in to help facilitate him, as well as new manager playing in a different way. Get some midfielders. For me personally, and people, and this divides opinion amongst the whole fan base, and that's what this is about. Because some people are like, no, get rid. It hasn't worked. And I've been there at certain points of the season, thinking, wow, he's just a shadow of himself. Like, doesn't look. But then he could, but he can still give you the moments. For me, I think he's a GOAT. He's achieved everything he is. He's got a 2-year contract. If he wants to stay, that's fine by me. But for me, he can't be the main guy every single game. Out and out, playing game after game after game after game after game, because there literally is nobody else, which is what's happened this year. We let Martial go. Obviously, the thing happened with Greenwood, which is still going on. Rashford, abysmal, and Cavani injured. So Ronaldo is the only striker we have. That for me has been the biggest problem, as opposed to it. When people say the problem is Ronaldo, I've never agreed with that. But I think what the actual problem is that there's been too much of a reliance on Ronaldo, where he needs to be fed. He needs to be in a team that creates loads of chances. And the criticism was just when he was going through that rough patch where actually he was getting loads of chances, he was just missing. Do you know what I mean? But by and large, fatigue kicks in, and no time waits for no man. So if Ronaldo, with everything he's achieved at the club, if he wants to see out that final year, I'm not going to be like, this is what's the problem with his club. We're keeping him, and because he'll still probably end up the top scorer next year too. Because that's just what he does. He gets goals.
Look at Ronaldo,
but you've got to facilitate him with another striker.
You look at Ronaldo coming up in his peak at Manchester United. He had a situation where he had around him Rooney, Tevez, Berbatov. All of those people shared the goals. We didn't even rely on Ronaldo when he was far superior to what he is now. So it makes even less sense to be over-reliant on him right now. So it does make a lot of sense, like you say, to have people around him that can share that burden. And I don't think... At points, we might have had people around him, but they're obviously not sharing that burden enough. Like you said, Cavani's injured. Rashford's really off form. We know the Greenwood situation. Martial went out on loan because he wasn't playing. So there was this over-reliance on a player that is in decline. And like I said, even when he was on his way up, you had people around him that were also getting goals. And if Ronaldo did have a bad game or a day where he was a bit off it, which was rare then, but if he did, you knew that Rooney was going to score. You knew that Tevez was going to score. You knew that Berbatov was going to come on and do something as well. So even then we had people around him. So like you said, I do feel like, I've said it quite a few times, that I still do think there's magic in him. We saw it against Spurs. He can do that. He can't do that every week.
We need to rely on it less. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we need that person that's also going to come in and get 15, 20 goals. That's it.
The only thing with that, though,
I don't know.
The only thing with this, right? Yeah, exactly. Who would be that facilitating striker? But they would come there knowing that they're a little bit second fiddle to the GOAT Ronaldo. That's fine. Like it's a kind of like a breakthrough season. But actually, that kind of takes the pressure off you a little bit as well, coming in, because it's like, there's Ronaldo here, and he's going to play, quite a few games. But I'm also going to get quite a lot of games I can bed in. But also, though, this is the real question. How much of Ronaldo at 37 going on 38 next season, how does he respond to that? How does he respond to being told, okay, look, we do want you to stay. We're not hounding you out of the club. We're not putting you up for sale. Or, to be fair, Ronaldo decides what he wants to do. He probably has that power. But does he kick up a stink and say, well, to Mauricio Pochettino or Ten Hag or whoever it is, no, you don't do that to me. Like, you either believe in me and change this team around me and give me, I'm still in tip-top condition. I'll be Ronaldo, yeah? I'll be Ronaldo. Yep. You be the new manager, right?
Go on.
So, boss, so imagine you've just told me, I want you to stay here, Ronnie, but we're getting this 23-year-old, he can run about, he's good, he's quick, he's going to be the heir to your throne, but, you're not going to play as much. No, if you want me to stay here, I play. If I'm fit, I play. I've got to sit out the odd 1 or 2, but I'm still going to be a top scorer. I want you to change the team around me, get us playing, sort out the midfield, sort out the fullbacks, sort out another centre half, and formation and tactics and stuff like that. And I'm telling you now, I'll still score you 20-25, but I'm not staying here to be bit part.
It's part of the job interview. It's part of the job interview, isn't it? Because that would surely, if you were smart in the recruitment process, I'm out of character. If you were in the recruitment process,
straight away, take a deep breath. So you did role play with
because
shit.
You started doing my lines. You started saying I'm you, and then you started saying all of this thing. Then you did the Ronaldo lines.
Yeah, but afterwards, now I'm saying respond as you. Now I've said that as Ronaldo.
What accent do you want me to do? Can't do Dutch.
Yeah, just you could be your own accent.
Okay. Well, Cristiano, thanks for coming in, seeing me. Look, when I came, I had this conversation with Darren. I had it with John, right? Part of the requirements in taking this job up was that we'll facilitate you. I believe in you, Cristiano, okay? My system will get the best out of you, even though some assets of your game, they're declining a little bit.
If you believe in me, why you get another guy? Why you get another guy if you believe in me?
Because I play 2 up top. That's how I play. Okay, don't interrupt me, Cristiano.
Oh, so you can play 4-4-2?
No. No. 3-5-2.
Oh, okay.
Because we're bringing in another central defender because we've got to protect Harry, because he's got to play. We're bringing in someone else. And
who told you that? Who said that you had to play? Did you have some meetings that I need to know about?
Part of the recruitment process, as I mentioned before, CR7, okay? It was part of the recruitment process was how do you get the best out of Harry, the captain? He's not going to be the captain anymore. That was part of my thing when I came.
So you said I'll play him, but you ain't going to be the captain. I'll change the formation.
Yeah, because Cristiano, this is how much I believe in you. Here's the armband, boom. And I put it on the table like that.
I'm sold. You sold me.
Yeah.
You sold me. You put out some big theories there,
Yeah. Character. You don't have to believe them.
But that's not no, but Owen, that's some big theories there, bro. Like Ten Hag coming in saying, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go to a fight that protective. You're not captain anymore. Build around you. Put another one up front with you. That'd be all right, isn't it? Need Tuchel for that." We ain't getting him. I know we ain't getting him.
No, we're not.
But anyway, back to the thing.
You know what? I was going to actually try and do a Dutch accent during that, and I just thought that would be hopelessly offensive. It would be so bad if I tried.
Especially if you get it so wrong. I mean, people will laugh.
Yeah, I can't do accents. No.
Well, maybe on the next one. Next time we do a bit of role play, then you can, whoever we're doing, you can do something.
Nah, no.
It's not really you.
No, it's not me.
But yeah,
it's not me.
How are you saying he's in all honesty, is he taking that well? He might do.
That's the problem. That is legitimately that is the problem, isn't it? It's the case of I think he would agree someone needs to come in to share the burden, but I think by that he means play alongside me as opposed to I'm
not drop me for him.
Because I understand that part of it as well. That is the problem. Is that. And I agree, he shouldn't play every game because in some games he's just not required in terms of the setup, the tactics, etc. But every time he doesn't play, where's that camera? Boom, right here, isn't it? It's literally Ronaldo
you can't
on the
stop
bench,
that,
either unhappy, or it's him coming off, throwing the coat around. I mean, even when he scored the hat-trick, let's be honest, when he scored the hat-trick against Spurs, he clapped everyone, as he was coming down Stretford End or whatever, but he was down the tunnel relatively quickly. Everyone else was walking around the pitch, clapping, all that kind of stuff. And that's what he does. And I think, you know what? Like, he's no mug as well, is he? Like, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. So that is the problem. I would think in his mind, he thinks, yes, I need people to come in to support me, but I still want to play because he's Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, he wants assurances. If he didn't want, he's going to want assurances of a whole load of game time still. He's not, because Ronaldo's not I don't think he is right now anyway. Although it looks like he's got such a lack of options around Europe to go and play Champions League, in my opinion. He's still a guy I think who wants to keep playing at the highest level, i.e., the Premier League or a top European league or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think he's ready to go to, say, I don't know, Qatar or whatever and get loads of money at like the team that Xavi was at or something like that.
I don't think he'll do that. I really don't think he will.
Or go to China or something like what Igalo's done, get shitloads of money. Carrasco went there, shitloads of money. I remember when I thought we went way too early. Remember Oscar? At Chelsea,
well, way too early. He went like mid 20s.
I mean? When he's like 24, and I was like, what? And but huge sums of money there. And if you're Ronaldo, my God, he could get £1 million a week easy out there. But I just don't think he's on that. Yeah, exactly. I don't think he's on like going to the MLS just yet. Like I do think maybe the sporting story going back there would interest him at some point.
Yeah, I think so.
I still think he'd want to do another. I don't think, because you got to remember, Ronaldo's about legacy as well. I don't think he wants that on his CV that he just came for 1 year.
No,
pissed off. Like I don't know. Things happen though, innit? We're not in the Champions League. You might think things happen. We never know. The new manager might come in and be really strong.
I think it's a difference saying it now when hypothetically. You never know. Arsenal are playing today. It could happen. All that kind of stuff. True. It's another thing when reality actually bites at the end of the season when it's actually United are.
And things move really quickly there.
Imagine that.
Bro, that's another thing. If we get this 7th, if we finish 7th, bro, we have to send the under 23s out. You have to. You have to. Or like, because Matic will still be here.
Hey,
Matic will still be here.
We get desperate. I'm telling you, do we get desperate? Was it like 40? It's the longest reign without a title or about a trophy in 40 years.
Oh, no, it's embarrassing. No, I'd rather, I'm telling you now, listen to me right now as we're recording this video, yeah? I would rather keep going on a trophy barren spell than win the Europa Conference League to springboard confidence. Honestly, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Really?
Oh, we've won. Yes, we've won the Europa Conference League to get into Europa. No.
Yeah, but you would hope that we would be winning that, but whilst also being in a title race, right? Next season. I can't even sit with a straight face.
I know that sounds mad because you should want to win any trophy that you're in. But nobody wants to be in that. And I know, like, it's weird, isn't it? Like, we shouldn't even be. Let's not entertain finishing 7th. Let's not do it. Let's not do that.
I'd rather do role play.
That just shows you how far we are and how low the confidence is that we're even thinking about what if we finish in the Europa Conference. Let's just forget about that. So basically, that's the Ronaldo staying situation. Just so you guys know this, before we move on, James Ducker from the Telegraph said, this is quote, Ronaldo hopes the appointment of a new manager and a solid transfer window can help bring about a marked upturn. Even in the event things came to a head, there are a few, if any, clubs who will be likely willing to pay or match his 775k per week wages. And it said that he plans to see out his final year of his contract despite the threat of missing out on Champions League football. It's understood that his sights are on staying with United next season. So, it could be a fairly quick thing where he comes out at the end of the season because there's so much rumours and says, listen, it's not been the season I wanted. I'm happy here. I'm looking forward to next season. Because once he comes out and says something like that, all this will probably go away.
That's what's important as well. If they do, Man United do have a situation now, 2.5 weeks international break, where they come out and say, by the way, we've agreed a deal, end of the season, Ralph's going into his consultancy, Ten Hag's new manager, or something like that, which could happen, absolutely could happen. Then that makes Ronaldo's decision easier because he can come out and go, I'm behind the team, I've spoken with the new manager, boom, boom, done.
Exactly. So, and I think also, let's be honest, Ten Hag or Poch, they got the minerals to come in and say, I don't want Ronaldo, he's gone. They won't even be able to say that about Harry Maguire. Like, everyone says Poch is a puppet, or he's this, he's that.
I think
Ten
it'll be
Hag
part of the
wouldn't come in
recruitment
and rule the
process.
roost.
I
100%.
really do.
Like,
I feel like
it's not
Darren
going to
Fletcher or
happen.
John Murtaugh would say to him, okay, if you do come in, what's your tactics, what's your training, long-term vision? How do you get the best out of Ronaldo? Because that's got to be
Yeah,
part of the question. And,
yeah,
you know,
100%. Unless Ronaldo decides to leave, I don't think someone like Ten Hag goes, "Oh, he doesn't really fit the way I want to play, so I'm not coming," or
yeah,
"He doesn't fit the way I play," or "You better get rid of him." They won't. They won't do it.
yeah,
Pochettino or Ten Hag won't do that. Do you know what I mean?
no.
Ronaldo's a big, big, big personality, one of the
Mm.
goats of all time. He packed up his locker before they even fucking Allegri even knew. I'm
Yeah,
off. See you
he's
later,
walking
mate.
out with his box, plant out the top
Yeah,
of it. You know, what are you
yeah.
doing?
Do
Ah, gone.
you know what I mean? Didn't get no levers, cards, nothing. Just
No,
fucked off. So anyway,
exactly.
let's have a quick De Gea discussion because him not making the Spain squad did cause quite a stir on both sides of the
Yes.
coin. Let me just ask the question nice and plain and simple and quickly. How do you see it? His future at Man United is and like the question says in the title, is De Gea really a problem in
No,
any way?
not right now. I mean, my analogy of it is this: the house is on fire, and you're worrying that the doorbell isn't working. That's the situation right now. That's my analogy of it. Is De Gea, you know, is his distribution a problem? Of course. In terms of the modern keeper, when you look at, to be honest, I always struggle to compare people to Edison. I think he's a
Yeah,
freak when it
he's a
comes to
central
his.
midfielder. Yeah,
Yeah, I think he's a sweeper that plays in goal. He's unbelievable.
yeah,
Allison's distribution is very good. People talk about Ramsdale's distribution is good, which is fair. And is De Gea up to that
yeah.
level of distribution? No. Is that something Manchester United need to address in the future? I would say so, right? But as of right now, if you're going to list all of the problems in terms of personnel on the pitch for Manchester United, you're looking at, right, defense midfielder. We've wanted them for ages. He's not even going to replace anyone, frankly. We just need one. So we need a defensive
Yeah,
midfielder.
he's coming straight in to start all the
Yeah,
games.
we need a defensive midfielder. That's one. We need a central midfielder likely to replace Pogba. That's two. We need a striker because we need some. We've just been talking about it to support Ronaldo and eventually replace Ronaldo. Cavani's leaving. We probably need another centre back as well. Maguire's not up to it, and probably you never know about Bailly or Jones. They're probably going to be leaving as well. That's 4 players just alone. Let alone we might need new fullbacks because are they even good enough? That's 5 and 6. So you're talking about 5 positions that are, for me, genuine positions that are a bigger priority than the goalkeeper. I'm not saying that eventually we would need to replace De Gea because, again, the modern day style, and especially with the new coach comes in, the distribution does need to be better. But in terms of the discussion of, is he a problem right now? The guy arguably has been our player of the season, right? He has got, I think, the most saves in the Premier League. There have been games where we have not have got points, whether it's 1 point or 3 points, because of David De Gea. And I just have again, for me, I'm just like, if people, when they're saying, oh, get rid of De Gea this summer, and I get it, total rebuild and all that kind of stuff, but I can't really wrap my head around that situation. I can't. And I do understand it when people are saying, yeah, but like, he does give the ball away in a game, or they pass it back to him and his kicking's not good enough. And it's like, okay, but he also later on in that game will make a save that other keepers can't make. And it's kind of, for me, I feel like that balance is out. And also, like I said, there are just other issues to fix. Put it this way. If they got a new goalkeeper this summer, I'm probably going to get a new backup keeper because Henson's going to be going, by the way. If we got a new goalkeeper this summer that was, you know, replaced David De Gea and De Gea left, and we didn't get a central defense midfielder, I'd be like, what on earth? Where are priorities?
Yeah,
so we have the same issues.
100%.
What one thing could be is that if Henderson does leave and we do get a younger keeper, and I don't think we're going to do this because it's rumors that Sam Johnston's going to come in. But if we were being really proactive, you'd go, okay, Henderson's probably going to go. Let's replace him with a younger upcoming keeper who does have good distribution. And then we maybe phase him in. Or maybe in a couple of years, he does replace De Gea. Maybe that might be the right thing to do. But like I said, priorities, guys. There are so many more important positions, in my opinion, than David De Gea.
Yeah, to be honest, I can't really add much more to that. I agree. On the devil's advocate side, you know, I think there's a choice point to happen at the end of David De Gea's contract in 24, which is if we want to move on in a different direction with a new manager, which isn't right now, because I agree it's not the biggest problem, I don't think we need to give him another massive contract. I don't. I
agree.
think then
I agree with that.
That's when you probably need to cash in either at the end of next year, even though it might not be that much, or if, again, he's been a fantastic servant, explain to him that we are going to invest in this keeper. You're welcome to stay and that. and work out where you want to go, what you want to do. We'll help you do it, but we're not going to offer you a 4-year deal with even more money than before, because we are going to go in a different direction with this manager. But right now, in this transfer window that's going to come up in the summer, we've got so much to sort out. David De Gea is the least of our problems. But I think there's a choice point, but not yet for me personally. And also, you don't want to get stuck by just holding on to things, and not wanting to move on because it hurts. So I've been, David De Gea's biggest critic in terms of distribution. We've all been there, seen the games. We've done it last game, kicking the ball straight to João Felix. Even within that Harry Maguire situation where he went left and he turned right, he wasn't offering the right angles, David De Gea. Like, it was calamitous. It wasn't only Harry Maguire's fault that. De Gea was a little bit part of that as well in terms of not giving him the ball. He could have given it to McTominay if he wanted to, and he didn't. Just choices on the ball. But right now, no, not at all. Another thing I want to talk about as well before we wrap up, we probably should have done this at the start as well, but a little bit of news coming through from Manchester Evening News. And they have said that Man United are impressed by Erik ten Hag, how he's assembled 2 successful teams either side of the sales of Matthijs de Ligt and Frankie de Jong at Ajax. There is also a belief that he could be a genuine long-term success at United, given the longevity he has enjoyed at Ajax. And they also go on to say, one of their journalists, Rich Fay, Erik ten Hag is currently leading the race to take up the role at Man United's as Man United's next permanent manager. So a little bit of a push there, ten Hag vibe. Sometimes it's Pochettino, sometimes it's ten Hag. Manchester Evening News reporting today, quite recently, that Man United are very impressed by him, that he can keep rebuilding squads. We will talk more about ten Hag coming up, but how do you feel about that?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because it does feel like he's overlapped Pochettino, and I do think that is somewhat linked to what happened in the Champions League, even though ironically Ten Hag also went out.
Yes,
and I do think that's worth pointing out. But but in fairness to Ten Hag, when we spoke about this the other day here on the channel when I had Faz and DJ on, if you look at the stats of that match, Ajax dominated Benfica. It's shocking that they lost. They had like 70% possession, I think like 16 shots, and they had 1 on target. I think Benfica had 4 shots, and they scored with their 1 goal. But it's still somewhat of a collapse. It's still a leg. They should have been winning. They were at home, and people that would be very, very pro Poch would be saying, "Well, guys, what's really the difference here?" Again, it's very close. It's a close comparison. I don't even know anymore, to be honest, Flex, when it comes to the managerial situation. Look, I think that we've said before, for me, Poch, Ten Hag, I think it's much for muchness. I do think they're similar, not in terms of playing style. I do think that people like Ten Hag because they're probably not as familiar to him. Yeah. I do think because they haven't seen as many games of his, and there's been a lot of games that they've seen of Poch, whether it's at Spurs, whether it's at Southampton, now PSG. The curious thing with Ten Hag, of course, as well, is the structure. Could he work within that structure at Manchester United? I think Ralph is the key to that. If we didn't have Ralph in there, I would be concerned.
He'll be a big player while he'll work with Ten Hag. Yeah. I think people are marrying those two together as well to make a good combination, which actually, I 100%, I'm not biased with it, although I've kind of backed the Pochettino side of things in terms of just not disregarding him like he's awful, like a lot of Man United fans think, which is fair enough. That's their opinion. But I do agree with like the thought of those two having a relationship together at the club, Poch and Ten Hag. Ten Hag and Ralph. That does fill me with a little bit of optimism. That does. I do like the sound of that. But this is Man United. There's people in the back there upstairs. It's never happened before. That's what I'm saying. We're going into a realm of we've never seen it. So maybe that's why I'm so skeptical. Because I'm like, really? What, we think that Ralph's just going to have all this power and him and Ten Hag are going to work as geniuses without interruption from people who make stupid decisions like they have been? Hopefully that is the case. But I just very skeptical about that.
Yeah, and also my concern is that there are a lot of cooks in that kitchen, and it could be a bit of a design by committee issue. What's the phrase? A camel is a horse designed by committee. Basically, the idea of they started off with a horse, so many inputs, ended up with a camel because people are changing, tweaking, all that kind of stuff.
Basically the same, but
yeah, exactly. And they go, "Wow, we'll add the hump. That'll be better," that kind of situation. That would be my concern. Is that if it was just say Ralph, Ten Hag, they're the key decision makers on certain things, I'd be like, okay, that could work. That's not going to be the case because Darren Fletcher's involved in that, because John Murtaugh's involved in that. So that would be my concern with that. like I said, with the Ten Hag thing, I do think them, and this is why I might lean to that a little bit, is I feel like at the moment that's an easier and quicker deal to do. His compensation fee is lower. Whilst I do think Poch is probably going to get sacked, that isn't going to happen to the end of the season because they're going to win the league. And it's dependent on, a lot of things going on at PSG. Rumors about Neymar leaving, Messi leaving, Mbappe leaving. There's a lot of overhaul going on there at the moment. It's quite chaotic. Yeah. And I feel like maybe the Ten Hag deal might just be somewhat easier to do in the sense of his compensation fee is relatively low. They've reportedly, kind of a sort of, verbal agreement between him and Overmars before Overmars left that if something comes up, you can maybe go at the end of the season sort of thing. I wouldn't be shocked in this 2.5 weeks period that, like I said, some kind of announcement is made. Ajax are going to finish the season with Ten Hag, and then Ten Hag is going to be coming in. The only caveat to that, I would say, is that race in the Eredivisie, from what I can seen recently, is still quite tight. I think there's maybe 5 points in it. Would Ajax really want, in the middle of a close title race, the announcement to be made, their manager's going to leave at the end of the season? That would be my only thing. But for United point of view, I want it to be like when Pep came in at Manchester City it was like February, March. Pep's coming in, Pellegrini's leaving at the end of the season. Everybody knew that. That was the situation. You can start planning things. That's the kind of biggest problem with United at the moment, isn't it? Can't plan for anything. Yeah. Because we don't know what.
And for Ajax, though, the other way around, it could be like, we know he's leaving. Let's get him that last title. Let's work. It can work both ways. But ideally, if you're the team where your manager's going to be departing, you want that stability up until the end. To be honest, so we'll have to see how that pans out. I do think now we've known for a hot minute, unless there's something way out the blue, something crazy happened with the Tuchel situation. But I don't see that happening in a million years. Something very far happened with Enrique, which again I don't see that happening. World Cup's coming up, can't see it. It's Poch or Ten Hag. It definitely is. We know that for a fact. I'll be stunned if it was anyone else, or if it was Ralph for like another year. Even that now, I think that's gone. I don't think that. I think it's Poch or Ten Hag. Definitely. So we shall see. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you lot are new. Give us your thoughts on everything. Let us know about the Ronaldo situation. Would you be happy for him to stay? And if you do, under what circumstances? Let us know also about David De Gea. Is he really that much of a problem right now? Is he a problem going forward? Should we still persist with David De Gea? If so, for how long? If not, what would you want to happen in the summer? Would you sell now? Would you cash in now? And obviously, Erik Ten Hag emerging as the front runner as of today, which will probably change. Almost like Cheltenham. Do you know what I mean? We've had Cheltenham. Between him and Poch, that's what's happening. It just keeps doing this. The day by day, things are changing. But also let us know your thoughts on that as well. We'll see you again very soon, guys. Peace.